Hello everybody. Currently driving, but I thought I would do a little video regarding a topic that I noticed somebody posted on one of the vanning forums on Facebook, one of the vanning groups, and it has to do with depression, getting lonely or getting depressed while living on the van, which really can happen anywhere, not just so much if you're a van dweller. I think being depressed or being lonely is more of a state of mind, although some people are clinically depressed. But even if you're clinically depressed, my own personal opinion, and I'm not a doctor or anything, so take it with a grain of salt, is that your attitudes and how you approach life and situations that are thrown at you can make a great deal of difference in how you handle things and whether or not you feel depressed or don't. I believe in a philosophy called fake it till you make it, and if you've been following this channel, then you know that I basically my life has been rung through the ringer, I guess, since my really messy, ugly divorce more than 7 years ago. And it's been a struggle to try to get my life back, and it's what has resulted in me losing my job as a well-respected teacher, to essentially becoming a homeless vet living in a van. I basically lost everything, and have spent the last 7 years just trying to recover and rebuild. It's been a lot harder than I thought it would be, but I'm optimistic that just as quickly as I lost everything, I'll be able to regain everything if I'm persistent and don't give up. So I think that's one thing that can affect whether or not you feel depressed or lonely. But let's deal with the two things. The first thing is, let's deal with depression. For me, depression is a state of mind where you basically are just feeling so hopeless that you feel that you can't do anything to change the outcome, and that you're just sad, because something traumatic or sad has happened to you, and you feel totally as if you have no control in what happens next. That to me is like depression. You just don't want to wake up, you just want to sleep all day, maybe even eat all day, and just don't want to do anything. And believe it or not, I do feel that sometimes. Now, I'm not diagnosed as clinically depressed, so I don't know how clinically depressed people feel. I only know that I have felt depression. But what I do to combat it is I try to find things that I enjoy doing. Like I'll take my camera out and go do some photography. I like to listen to music. I try to do fun stuff. And I think that's the key, is even when you're depressed, if you make the time to do things that you enjoy, eventually you can come out of the depression. Sorry about that. The camera fell again. I need to work on my Velcro strips here to hold the camera in place. But I'm driving, and when I stop or hit a bump or something, the Velcro comes loose because I only have a tiny little portion holding everything together. Anyhow, as I was saying, I can't really vouch for those people who have clinical depression and are depressed all the time, because I am not clinically depressed. But for normal depression, which I think everybody goes through every so often, I find that faking it till you make it works. I basically try to do things that I enjoy, like going out to nature, listening to music, maybe talking to friends, hanging out with friends. And when you're depressed, obviously you don't want to do those things. You kind of want to just stay in bed all day and do nothing. But if you force yourself to get out of bed and do these things, eventually the depression passes. Now, as far as living in a van, that possesses its own unique set of challenges. I would say the typical van dweller is a single person, so you're kind of by yourself, and that, I think, does a lot to make people depressed. Keep in mind, though, you know, loneliness and being alone, I mean, loneliness is like a state of mind. You can be, like, surrounded by a lot of people and still be lonely. You know, like, I'm often in a crowded room, and I still feel like I'm lonely or by myself when I'm there, because I just don't really like big crowds. And, you know, I don't really fit in. I don't like situations and events that are full of a lot of people. I prefer solitude, actually. So even when I'm with a big group, a lot of times I feel like I'm alone. But something that you can do to help yourself is to join the Living in a Van Facebook group if you're a vanner or a van dweller or thinking of doing this, because you can make some new friends on there who share basically an interest in living in a van or an RV or a camper or nature or living off the grid. So you can surround yourself with people who feel similar to you with regards to van dwelling. So that's the first tip that I would have, is to join either the Living in a Van Facebook group or other van dweller type groups. There's several of them that are on Facebook, or join all of them. The other thing is to communicate with people on there, make postings and stuff, comments, make new friends. Now, I know some of the Facebook groups have trolls and haters and stuff, because whenever you get a large group, like our group, the Living in a Van group, I think it's now, I haven't checked the latest numbers, but I think we're at about 5,000 people. I'm not 100% sure, but we're probably at about 5,000 or so, which is becoming a pretty large group. So it's hard for everyone in a group of that size to get along. And what I recommend is, if you're on social media like Facebook, learn to take advantage of the block feature. If there are people on there that you don't like or annoy you with their postings or the comments and stuff, just block them. You know, you go to their profile, click on the, I don't know if it's the gadget, the little settings thingy, or the 3 dots, I don't know what they have. But on one of the options on there is to block that person. And when you block that person, it's like they don't even exist. They totally disappear. You don't see any of their postings. You don't see any of their comments. They can't contact you. So that's something that you can do if you're in a big group like that and you're trying to make friends, and there are certain people that just get on your nerves. Now, for my group, the Living in a Van group, we're pretty open and laxed in our group. Not very many rules, other than to treat each other nicely and with respect. And, you know, my feelings about it is, if you don't have something nice to say, it's probably best not to say it. And if somebody says something that's not nice to you and it annoys you, just block them. Life is too short to fill your life with people who are negative. You know, just like I try to do with this YouTube channel. You know, since broadcasting pretty much my life, I've had all sorts of, well, I've had both good and bad. I've had people who have been very supportive, people who have prayed for me, people who have contributed to my situation, either financially, to just throw me a lifeline, or giving me some ideas, sharing the channel, sharing videos, trying to help it grow, just basically keeping me positive. Because let me tell you, you know, there's a lot of negative things that happen on a day-to-day basis. I just don't focus on them, and I try not to, because, you know, that makes for a depressing channel, but also depresses my own life. And I prefer to always try to see the sunny side, even though, I don't know if you can see the background here. It is like pitch black. Let me show you. This is how depressing it looks right now. We are almost at the compound, and you can see part of it is still shiny, but that part which is coming is like really, really dark and not looking so good. Anyhow, join the groups. Join the Facebook groups. The other thing is to do something. You know, if you're in a van and you have the gas money, take a road trip. Take a little one-day trip or something. If you're in a van and you're not forced to stay in any given location, travel. You don't have to go far. Maybe just go to the next town or something and explore. Spend the day doing something different. I think that if you can fill your life with things that are different, things that are novel, your life becomes much more joyful. It doesn't become mundane and sad and depressing. In my case, you can see that I'm temporarily, and I say temporarily because my plan is not to stay here and be stuck like this forever. I'm grounded again because of my financial situation and the issue with child support and trying to get that all caught up, and you know, some other issues going on with trying to get my life back in order. So my budget is like virtually nil, but you can see I'm still pretty upbeat, and the reason for that is I have found something to do, and that was to create this yurt, you know, to continue my YouTube, and to basically keep myself busy. You know, I'm looking for work, but when I'm not out there actively looking, I'm working on the yurt, and I'm working on the van videos, which thanks to you guys is starting to actually look like it might be feasible to turn this into a full-time job, or at least a part-time gig, to help me offset my income and make enough to cover my living expenses and child support and everything else that I have to pay. But the yurt building, which is, you know, pretty nuts, has kept me busy. You know, it keeps my mind active and gives me new challenges, and that helps to fight off depression and loneliness. I obviously am not able to spend as much time as I would like with my wife and her daughter because of the situation, and I don't get to see my kids as often as I would like, but I try to see them whenever I can. That helps, you know, because they're people I care about and love, and we try to get out and do fun things. If you don't really have anyone like that in your life, it's important that you try to make some friends through the Facebook groups or whatever, or even on this YouTube channel. Just be friendly in your comments, and just know that you know, these other people pretty much share the same interests as you do. That's why they're here on this channel or on the Facebook group. And if they're mean or whatever, block them. You know, don't waste your time on those kind of people. So those are just some of my tips. The other thing that you can do if you're in a town or you're not in a van or whatever, and you're, you know, in a given area, you can look up a website called meetup.com. I think it's all one word, Meetup, meetup.com. And they have like different groups for different categories. You know, like if you're into painting or whatnot, if you're into hiking, if you're into blazing trails, trailblazing, if you're into flying model airplanes, whatever, there's a group for it. So you can attend these events. Like when I first went through my divorce, I was devastated. You know, I had lost all my friends because they were all teachers, and everyone kind of like just backed down and didn't help me because they had gotten threats from the district. I basically lost everything, all my family, my friends, my job, and everything all at the same time. Meetup saved me. I joined meetup.com and was in several groups, from a trailblazing group to, yeah, did I just miss my turn? I think I just missed my turn. Let me double check here. So busy talking, I think I missed my turn for Camp Freedom 2. Anyhow, if you're on like Meet Me, you can go on there for like trailblazing, you can go on there for camping, you can go on there for whatever. I was on there for volleyball, beach volleyball, which was fun, and the trailblazing hiking group, you know, adventures, kayaking, horseback riding, just things to do. Some of those groups are a little bit more expensive than others, but if you look around, you know, and you have interests that aren't too expensive, you can do them with other people. And who knows, you know, you can make friends. And even if you don't make friends right away, you can make temporary friends, which is what I did. You know, those people carried me through. I had just gone through the divorce, couldn't even see my children at the time, and the meetup saved me. It gave me something to look forward to each week. You know, I would meet with the group to play volleyball like once or twice a week, and I didn't really hang out with them too much. Sometimes we went out to eat afterwards, but I would just go play volleyball and get out on the beach. And to be honest, I was like really sad and depressed the whole time. I mean, I just lost everything. But by having something to do, something that I had to show up for, it saved me. My apologies for those of you who are trying to fight your depression or loneliness. I rambled on and on in this video, so I'm going to have to do a lot of editing to get it down to a reasonable runtime here. But basically, the things that you can do to keep yourself from being depressed is basically do things that you enjoy. Fake it, you know. Do things that make you smile. Read a book, listen to music, talk to friends. Don't have any friends? Make friends. Use the take advantage of social media. Use the Facebook Living in a Van group. Use the other van dweller groups. Use this YouTube channel to communicate with people. You know, try to be nice. People like nice people. So don't be grumpy. Don't be mean. If you feel like you have nothing but mean things to say people, and you wonder why you don't have any friends, well, being mean is probably one of the reasons. So, you know, if you don't, you know, I learned when I was a kid that if you have nothing nice to say to someone, don't say anything. That's a good way to not make friends. The other thing is find a hobby, either something that you enjoy doing, and do that. If you don't know of any hobbies, try new ones. You can watch YouTube videos to learn new hobbies and whatnot. Work on your van, improve it, change the systems out. Go on a crazy adventure. Maybe build a yurt in the woods. Do things. Get out and do things. Keep yourself busy, and understand that unless you're clinically depressed, depression goes away. And even if you were clinically depressed, I don't know if it, you know, I'm not clinically depressed, so I don't know, you know, but I would think that if you kept yourself happy or tried to do things that made you happy, the depression would be kept at bay. As far as loneliness, that is a state of mind. So, you know, I think loneliness tends to come when we feel like we don't have anyone to share our life with, or things that happen to us. So it kind of ties in with the depression. So if you can make some friends, do so. That will help with the loneliness issue. The other thing is, you know, some of you say, well, I have a hard time making friends with people. Make friends with yourself. Be nice to yourself. Treat yourself every once in a while, like I'm doing today. I'm going to be making shish kebabs. Probably my most expensive meals. One of the most expensive meals I've made out here since living in the van. I think the whole cost is like $6 or so, which to me is $6 to $7 to cook this meal, which should last me 2 meals. But that to me is expensive, considering that most of my meals are about 50 cents or less. Do things, get out, have fun, and even if you don't, pretend. You know, remember, you can fake it till you make it. At least, that's my motto. Until next time, everybody, I hope your days are looking brighter, and that you found this video useful and helpful. Take care now.